Hi, this is going to be an in-depth, honest review of Atelier Playa Mujeres in Quintana Roo, Mexico. This all-inclusive resort is adults only, 16 and up. This resort is located about 40 minutes from the Cancun airport, just north of the hotel zone. And if you stay for 4 or more nights, your transportation round trip will be included to and from the airport. This resort is great for anyone who's looking for a quiet, laid-back, relaxed vacation. So starting off with the rooms, we ended up booking a double junior ocean view suite for our stay. Everything else was booked that we would have done instead, and we ended up booking this trip about 3 months out. And like I said, a lot of the rooms were sold out, so I would definitely recommend trying to book it further in advance than we did. When you arrive to the property, they will give you some cute little bracelets that are fully removable, and the bracelet has your room key in it. You just scan your door and it will unlock it for you. Our room included 2 queen-size beds, a balcony, a table, a couch, a TV, and 1 bathroom. The room has a QR code on the TV, which you'll scan to pull up the room service menu, and then you can use the phone next to the bed to place any room service orders. They do have room service available 24/7, and the menu changes depending on what time of the day you are ordering. They offer breakfast, lunch, dinner, and late night menus. And then instead of putting out a do not disturb sign, they actually have these really cool buttons that you press when you need your room to be cleaned or you want to turn on do not disturb. And then the one in the middle is a light switch. Featured in the room is a mini coffee bar, which has a Nespresso machine and some Nespresso pods. There is also a mini fridge, which has some beer, water, sodas. And there is a snack bar, which they restock anytime the room service goes into your room. And these are great for throwing into your beach bag, which is also included in the room. And then here's 2 wine bottles that also come with the room. So now moving on to the bathroom, there are these sliding privacy doors, which can be completely closed during your stay and then reopened all the way if you want more of an open layout. There's also a side door, which I didn't show in the video, but you can go through that door when the privacy sliding doors are closed, allowing the person using the restroom to have full privacy. So the bathroom also has this large tub, and the bathroom has 2 robes that it comes with and some matching slippers. And then along with the tub, there is also this beautiful shower in the bathroom. It has 2 shower heads, 1 overhead and then 1 off to the side. You can adjust the one on the side to be any height or face any direction you want, and it's really awesome. You can actually turn on both shower heads at the same time. And then the shower does have some soap and some conditioner and body wash in it. They will refill this for you throughout your stay at the hotel. We absolutely loved the green, calming colors in the shower. And then this is what the double vanity looked like. It had this awesome ring light around it, great for anyone that needs to do their makeup at the hotel. As you can see, they restock the hand soap and body lotion. And then there was also a shower cap and some mosquito bug repellent and then some mouthwash. And then I believe one of those boxes also had some Q-tips in it and cotton pads for removing your makeup. There's also a hair blow dryer and a scale in the bathroom. And then moving on, here is the wardrobe. It came with all of these hangers, and there is a ironing board and an iron in there. And then on the side, there is a safe with instructions on how to set the code and some more storage space. And then here is a view of our balcony. We did have the ocean view, and as you can see, it was more like a side ocean view. It looked out over the golf course, which was beautiful, but it was a little bit further back from the water. And then there were 2 chairs and a mini table. As for nightlife, there were 10 bars. A couple of them closed at 7 p.m. and then some of them closed at 11, and then there were about 2 that were open as late as 1 a.m. And this was the rooftop bar. As you can see, this is only open to Inspira members during the daytime, but at night it's open to everyone. They also had a nightclub called El Deseo, which was open until 3 a.m. And then depending on what day it was, they would have little events such as casino night or silent dance party night, or they might have live piano or saxophone music. They had a schedule that you could look at online. And now for the highly anticipated food section. So Atelier is known for their high quality food, which has been recognized by places such as Forbes and TripAdvisor. So they do have 25 options for food, and one of them is a Michelin recognized restaurant, and this is the only one not included in the all-inclusive package. You will have to pay extra for the Michelin restaurant if you decide to go there, but everything else is included. So they have 2 coffee shops. And if you love coffee like me, you will be happy to hear that they were open late until 11 p.m. every night. And they also had some pastries there if you wanted to stop for breakfast or a little snack during the day. And then they also had some gelato at the coffee shops if you wanted some dessert throughout the day. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our favorite restaurants that we tried while we were there. We wanted to try everything, but unfortunately our 5 days there was not enough time to try everything. So what you're seeing right now is Cala di Luna. This was a Mediterranean restaurant, and this was one of our top 3 favorite restaurants we went to. The spanakopita that you're seeing right now was top-notch, amazing. And a lot of people have asked me how the reservations work. So they have an online website that they will give you a QR code for when you get to the hotel and check in. And this website has a link to all the restaurant reservations, and the reservations open 3 days in advance for every restaurant at midnight. So I would say it was pretty easy to make reservations. The hardest day for us was the first day because there were only late night options or really early options left. And then the restaurant you're seeing on screen now is called El Suspiro. This was our favorite breakfast option. It's right by the pool and it's beautiful. It's outside. The eggs Benedict and pancakes here were amazing. And then the next restaurant you're seeing is Salento. This was an Italian restaurant that we also loved. They were open for lunch and dinner, and most of the dinner options would close around 10:30 p.m. But we went here about 3 times on our trip because we liked it so much. The pizza and pasta were amazing. We would definitely recommend it. We sat on the balcony every time we went, and we just loved the vibe there. And then the next restaurant I'm going to show you is Limon y Sal. So this is near the pool. We walked here one day from the beach to get lunch because the beach food menu was kind of limited, and we ended up getting the guac and chips, and then I ended up getting a hot dog, and my boyfriend got the fish and chips, I believe, and it was pretty good. Definitely would recommend for the days you're at the beach. And then here is the room service breakfast. We ended up doing this 2 days, and we only ended up trying the breakfast room service, but it was really good. Definitely had good coffee, and the pancakes were really good. And then lastly, this was our other favorite restaurant, Takeshi, which was arguably the hardest one to get reservations at for us. The chicken tikka masala and the shrimp fried rice were amazing, and I'm still thinking about them to this day. Here's Maria Dolores. This is the Michelin restaurant. We didn't end up having any time to try this place out. Now I'm going to show you guys the gym. This gym was absolutely stunning and massive. They had so much equipment. So as you can see, they had tons of free weights, tons of treadmills, they had some biking equipment, and more dumbbells, as you can see. And then they had some cable machines. They also had a room with some yoga equipment and a giant mirror. I think they would also do some classes in here some days. They had a schedule at the front of the gym that you could look at if you wanted to see if they had any classes when you go. They also have some water and towels when you walk in, so don't worry about having enough water in your hotel room. You can come down here and grab it when you go to work out. And then here's that workout schedule that I was talking about earlier, and there is some fruit. Next, I'm going to be talking about the beach. So the beach had these lovely little umbrella cabana things with chairs. As you can see, these umbrella cabana type of things were further back from the water, and then as you got closer to the water, they had portable, removable umbrellas like you would see at a typical beach. So the water here was pretty blue. I would say since the waves are pretty strong, it wasn't crystal clear just because so much sand was getting kicked up when we went. These clips are all from when we went in February, and it was pretty overcast when we went, but on the few days where it wasn't as cloudy, the water looked a lot more blue and clear. So comparing the water here to the hotel zone, I've only been to the hotel zone in January, and I would say the water there was a lot more clear. The seaweed here wasn't bad, but there definitely was a little bit. I would definitely say this beach is a lot calmer and less busy than the hotel zone. It feels a little bit more remote, and the hotels are kind of spread out, so there's not a ton of people and there's not any vendors trying to sell things on the beach. There were also waiters and waitresses on the beach that would take your order whenever you wanted drinks or food. The food menu was a little bit smaller on the beach, but like I said, you could walk away from your chairs for up to an hour and you would not lose your seat. So if you want to go to a different restaurant on the resort, you can totally do that. That's what we ended up doing. And then here are some shots of the main pool. This is around dinner time, so there weren't very many people there, but during the daytime, these pools were packed. And there was also a swim up bar, and then those little cabanas that you saw, which were first come, first served. Now moving on to the activities. I don't have any footage of any of the activities because we kind of just went to relax, so we didn't actually do any of these, but every day the activities would change, and they have a full schedule of the whole week online that you can look at when you get there. They had things such as Latin dance workshops, they had piñata making, they had water volleyball, they had some clay workshops and beach volleyball, and then also painting and wine, among many other activities that you could choose from. So overall, I would definitely recommend Atelier Playa Mujeres for anyone that's looking for a laid-back resort type of vibe. I would say if you're looking for more of a party vibe, this might not be the place for you, but if you want somewhere where you can sit on the beach all day and relax, then this is definitely the resort for you.